we need to talk about it, because there's a lot of controversy online about how Sephora kids are running Sephora and they're being disrespectful, they're taking all the products, yada yada yada. I have a different take on this, okay? And I think we're being a bit too harsh on the kids. Fair enough. The only thing I will say is you always need to be respectful regardless of who it is. Be respectful for everyone, because you just never know. You just never know. And also, it's treating someone how you want to be treated as well. Like, growing up, I get it. You're young. You don't really comprehend it, and there's a sense of entitlement there. So I understand that part of it. But can we please talk about the fact that Sephora kids have put me on Dior lip gloss? Like, this probably was a thing, like, way before. I know it was. But it wasn't as prominent in my mind as to now. And I am thanking you all for putting me on this, because I never would have known. And it's genuinely the best thing ever. And I feel like kids don't gatekeep. They're not gatekeeping the best products right now, guys. You need to hop on it. Like, genuinely, I've never been a skincare person, but now I am. So thank you. The elephant stuff, great. Like, yes. And if I was growing up with that stuff, I probably would have really enjoyed it. But I know there's like a dark side to this I also want to speak on. But regardless, let's talk about Sephora kids. I'm not here to bash Sephora kids, by the way. It's more so to see the other side, because think back to when we were younger, right? I, myself, and a lot of people I knew, we would go into Jack Wills, Victoria's Secret, and Hollister. Hollister was the main one. Everyone had those Hollister sprays. Now everyone has those De Niro sprays. I think I have one, the Bum Bum Cream one that you spray. Everyone has those now, and it's just the case of evolution. It genuinely is. And I think we are bashing this upcoming generation when we were once them, but it was in a different way, right? So we had the EOS lip balms, we had the Hollister sprays, the Victoria sprays, we had the Maybelline stuff. I feel like people are forgetting we were just the BTEC version of the kids that are in today's society. We would run to, I don't know, CVS or the pharmacy or the drugstore or Superdrug, depends where you are in the world. But I would make sure that when I went to CVS, I would get all the EOS lip balms that I could. I would stock up on that shit. And the fact that we're bashing the Sephora kids now makes me laugh, because we were once them, but it wasn't as in the forefront of our mind because of TikTok. And I solely blame TikTok and the get ready with me culture for the Sephora kids. The dark thing about this all is that Sephora kids are believing that if they have this product, it's going to make them prettier, it's going to make them feel like they're upholding with the social standards, it's making them feel like they fit in, when in reality, you know, us our age, I'm 20 something, I don't feel like that's even necessary for someone at that age. But I kind of look at it, I'm like, I kind of wish I started back then. But they're looking at skincare in such a different viewpoint, I think, than we do. And I'm empathizing with them so heavily, because we always had beauty standards growing up, but because I grew up on a BlackBerry or a flip up phone, it wasn't as prominent until I was about 11, 10. That's when I got Instagram, that's when I got all the social medias, and that's wasn't even the beginning of the beauty standard, because Instagram was just posting the wackiest stuff that you could find, or just your new pair of trainers or whatever. Like, it wasn't what it is now. So I think we need to have some kind of leniency and see the actual problem here in itself. There's no point in complaining on TikTok, oh, these Sephora kids, they're running Sephora, blah blah blah. Like, cool, they're being disrespectful, that's another thing. But the deep rooted issue here is that kids are thinking that they need these products when they shouldn't really be touching their skin anyway. I think I saw a dermatologist say they should only really do a cleanser, a light cleanser, moisturizer, and SPF, which is actually what I stick to now. I don't really go to the retinols, even though I probably should start doing it. But I think the simpler the better, and we need to encourage kids that skincare isn't going to solve or make you fit in or help your self-esteem, because I'm getting this vibe. I mean, I might be completely wrong, but I'm getting this vibe that kids' self-esteem are going to be so low when they get older, and they're going to have to rely on materialistic things in order to fit in and in order to feel like they're pretty, when that is not the case. Okay, if any kid is listening right now, I want you to understand. I know I use the term kid, I don't like that, but I want you to understand that you are pretty and beautiful the way you are. And I know that's really cringy and cheesy to say, but I'm only realizing this now in my mid-20s, and it's not something I would ever wish upon my younger self, to feel like I need this skincare to feel pretty. I don't think I ever went to CVS or the drugstore and went, I need that EOS lip balm to feel pretty. I said, I need that EOS lip balm because everyone else has it and I need to fit in. And that was only the start of this whole thing, right? Now we have TikTok influencers saying, get ready with me, and they're these beautiful, gorgeous, slim looking girls that are getting paid to promote this product when they probably don't even use it. And you know, it's a whole marketing thing. The skincare and makeup and beauty is all marketing, and it's affecting the younger generation. Look at how the younger generation are relying on vapes now. I know this is getting really deep, but you have to look at how young people are getting hooked on these things, when in reality the moral of the story is it shouldn't really be happening. And I'm not sitting here saying don't go to Sephora, don't go buy this, don't go buy that, but I'm making you aware that we should not be saying, oh, Sephora kids. We should be encouraging them to create healthier kind of mindsets towards it. I mean, you know I'm seeming so deep thinking right now, but I'm just kind of thinking ahead, I guess, because I don't want the generation coming up to solely rely on products to make them feel pretty. Because I remember even when I was younger and getting Maybelline, my first foundation I think was Collection Lasting Perfection. If you know, you know. I still actually use that concealer to this day, but it would make me think that I would get prettier by using it. And you could say, oh, Sephora needs to cap the age limit and you should be a certain age to get into Sephora, which I think is a good idea. But if you're looking at it in a marketing perspective, these kids are bringing in so much money and so much revenue to these companies, where if you look at it on that kind of scale, it's really scary, because it doesn't become a product for helping the people. It becomes a mass-made product, badly influencing the younger generation. And I hope what I'm saying is making sense. And I know it's only skincare, like it literally could be so much worse. Kids could be buying guns, I don't know, but you get the gist. I mean, I think it's a great thing personally if you're sticking with SPF at a young age. It just means the kids are not going to have wrinkles and we're losing out. I think as an older generation, it's our responsibility to kind of uplift the younger generation, especially seeing, you know, the way they're living. And we should be thankful for the way we lived. I know we started to experience it when social media came out, but it's nowhere near as bad. After having a few conversations with people that watch my podcast, I know how hard it is. Like, I understand that, and I don't want you guys to feel like we kind of look down on you when, you know, for me it's not the case. I want you guys to feel empowered by yourselves, and you shouldn't feel like you need to get these things to feel whole. Like, there's obviously the whole product consumerism thing. I feel like I need certain things to feel whole, but it will never be like beauty products. And that is the baseline of you growing up. But I remember when I was younger, I really wanted to wear makeup, and I don't blame these kids for wanting the next best thing, the next makeup. But I'm also not gonna advocate that you should be wearing makeup at such a young age when you don't need it necessarily. I do believe that it's a form of expression and it's a form of art, but there comes a point where it can affect the way you view yourself at such a young age. And if we want to talk about editing and face apps, to link it, I guess it's not the same, but it's similar. When growing up, I used Facetune at such a young age, it really warped the way I saw myself. And yeah, I'm happy that the next generation are looking after themselves, and that self-care is kind of like a trend, right? Because it's going to set you up well for your life. But on the other hand, the deeper rooted issues that comes along with it, I'm a bit concerned about. And I want you to be aware. Okay, I want you to be so aware, because at the end of the day, these products are marketed, and maybe the marketing wasn't intentional for young kids. I don't think it ever was. But the fact that now TikTok and Get Ready With Me's have mistakenly or not mistakenly directed the marketing towards young children, it's now getting out of hand to the point where if some of these children were my own children, I would be getting really overwhelmed with the fact that they don't feel good enough about themselves, and that they feel like they have to have this product to feel whole or to fit in or to feel like the next slim, good looking TikToker. I do worry for that, you know, because it's something I wouldn't wish upon myself when I was younger. So yeah, I guess what I'm saying is, let's please calm down on the Sephora kids kind of. It's become like a trend on TikTok, which I don't like the negativity side of it. I do appreciate calling them in on the respect thing. I do think children should be respecting people that are older than them, especially workers. I think I've heard some crazy stories of Sephora workers, and you know, that is crazy to me. But at the same time, we need to respect the fact that we were once them. It's just a whole different ball game now, and you would not want to live, I don't think, in their day and age growing up. It seems so toxic. It seems like a whole Mean Girl era, but times 10. It just feels like a really hard time to be growing up, and that's something that I wish the older generation said to me, because we were only just getting started on social media, and I wish someone was like, oh, it's actually quite hard. I hated the fact that older generations would be like, back in my day it was so difficult, and and it's like, it actually fucking gets harder. Life gets harder, and you'll notice it with the recession, you'll notice it with bills, you'll notice it with how hard it is to buy a fucking house. And you know, our parents or the older generation are like, no, back in our day it was so difficult. Like, I appreciate that, but I don't really believe that it was more difficult than now. In some aspects, yeah, sure, but in others, you would never understand. So yeah, I just want you, anyone that's listening that feels like they need a product, just rethink, reevaluate, and notice why you want it. And if it's because it's a trend, it's TikTok or whatever, chances are you didn't need it before you saw that video. So yeah, I want you guys to be safe and healthy, and have a healthy mindset towards yourself and self-care and self-love. Okay, and sorry if I've gone too deep into this topic and it's not the case, but I over worry. So yeah, anyways, that is all I need to say today, and I just wanted to hop on here quickly to kind of chat about it. But I hope you guys enjoyed, and chat to me if you want. I know some of you have chatted to me on Instagram. I'll link my Instagram below, either my personal one or the Girl Math podcast. Up to you. And yeah, I'll see you guys on the next episode. Goodbye.